On Father's Day, my daughter handed her father-in-law a lavish $13,000 cruise ticket, paid for straight out of my bank account without my knowledge. To me, she tossed a crumpled $2 lottery ticket across the table with a smirk, joking, "If you're lucky, half of it is mine." I forced a smile, but inside, my blood boiled. Little did she know, that ticket would win me $120 million, and I'd teach her a lesson in gratitude she'd never forget. Instead of splitting the jackpot, she'd get exactly what she deserved: nothing. Before we dive deeper into this tale of betrayal, family greed, and sweet revenge, hit that subscribe button if you love these Reddit-inspired stories that expose the darker sides of human relationships. Drop a comment below letting me know where you're tuning in from, whether it's your morning commute or late-night scroll. Your support keeps these narratives coming. Now, let's get into it. The aroma of roasted chicken and fresh-baked rolls filled my modest dining room that Father's Day afternoon. I'd spent the morning preparing the meal, just like every year, simple, hearty food from recipes my late wife had passed down. The table was set with my best china, the kind we only used for special occasions. Sunlight streamed through the lace curtains she'd hung decades ago, casting warm patterns on the worn oak table. I was excited. It had been months since the whole family gathered here. Kara arrived first, her luxury SUV pulling into my driveway with a confident purr. She stepped out in designer clothes that screamed affluence, clothes I knew cost more than my monthly pension. Her husband was named in passing, but her father-in-law, Eric, was the star of her affections. Eric followed in his own sleek car, looking every bit the successful investor he was, with his polished shoes and expensive watch glinting in the sun. My grandson Jake trailed behind, glued to his phone as usual. We settled around the table, the conversation light at first, talk of Jake's school, the weather, neighborhood news. But as dessert was served, my homemade apple pie, the gift exchange began. "Dad, here's your gift," Kara said, her voice laced with that casual indifference I'd grown used to. She slid the lottery ticket across the table like it was an afterthought. It skidded to a stop near my plate, a cheap $2 scratch-off with random numbers printed in faded ink. I picked it up, smoothing the wrinkles. "Very thoughtful, sweetheart," I replied, mustering a smile. My voice was steady, but inside a familiar ache stirred, the kind that comes from years of feeling like an obligation rather than a priority. "Oh, but wait," Kara interrupted, her eyes lighting up with exaggerated excitement. "I haven't given Eric his gift yet." She reached into her oversized designer bag and pulled out an elegant envelope tied with silk ribbon that probably cost more than the ticket she'd given me. Eric leaned forward, his posture perfect, exuding the confidence of a man who'd never known financial worry. "These," Kara announced dramatically, revealing the contents, "are tickets for a $13,000 Mediterranean cruise. First class, private balcony, all the bells and whistles. Eric deserves the best for everything he's done for our family." The room fell silent. I felt the weight of every eye on me, my sister Margaret shifting uncomfortably, my nephew Tommy staring at his fork, even Jake glancing up from his screen with a confused frown. Eric examined the tickets with approval, his manicured nails tracing the gold-embossed details. "Now this is what I call a proper gift, Kara," he said, his tone dripping with satisfaction. His gaze met mine across the table. "Your father taught you well." The words hung heavy, like an unspoken judgment. Kara laughed, bright and sharp. "Dad always said actions speak louder than words. Some people show love through grand gestures. Others—" She waved dismissively at my lottery ticket, her implication clear. I clutched the ticket tighter, my knuckles whitening. "I appreciate the thought, Kara, really." But she waved it off. "Oh, it's just a little joke. But seriously, if you hit the jackpot, I expect my cut. I paid for it after all." Eric chuckled, low and smug. "Perhaps next year Stephen will surprise us all with something more substantial." The sunlight suddenly felt harsh, highlighting the awkward expressions around the table.
Margaret cleared her throat. Sarah, Tommy's wife, studied the family photos on the wall with feigned interest.
Eric fanned out the cruise tickets like a winning hand. 2 weeks in the Mediterranean, first-class accommodations, gourmet meals, unforgettable excursions. The kind of experience that creates lasting memories. I nodded, my throat tight. Sounds wonderful. It is, Kara agreed. Eric's always been there for us financially, helped with the house down payment, Jake's private school, even our country club dues. He's earned this. The lottery ticket in my hand felt insignificant, a symbol of how far I'd fallen in her eyes. I thought back to the double shifts at the garage, the grease under my nails, the exhaustion that had me collapsing into bed at dawn just to afford her education. The nights I'd skip meals so she could have new clothes for school. But here, in this moment, none of that mattered. After dinner, they left quickly, car doors slamming, engines revving, voices fading. I sat alone at the table, the house echoing with silence. The lottery ticket lay beside my cold coffee, a crumpled reminder of the day. The next morning, sunlight filtered through my kitchen window as I reviewed my bank statement on my laptop, a ritual born from decades of penny pinching. Utilities, groceries, dinner ingredients, all accounted for. Then my eyes snagged on an anomaly. Premium travel services, $13,000. My coffee turned bitter in my mouth. The date matched last Thursday. I'd been home all day. Realization dawned. Kara still had access to my account, set up years ago after her mother's death for emergencies. I'd never revoked it. My hands shook as I dialed her number. Each ring amplified my pounding heart. "Hello, Dad?" she answered, her tone bored. "Kara, there's a $13,000 charge on my account from a travel agency." Silence, then a light laugh. "Oh, that? I bought Eric his cruise. He deserves something nice." The word stunned me. "You took $13,000 without asking? That's theft." "It's not theft. It's family money for a family gift. You weren't using it anyway." Her defensiveness sharpened. "Eric's helped us so much. This is just returning the favor." "I'm your father," I whispered, voice breaking. "I raised you, worked endless hours for your future." "And Eric helped us move beyond that," she snapped. "He's shown us real success, real generosity, not cheap lottery tickets." The cruelty left me speechless. This was my daughter, the child I'd comforted through nightmares, the teen I'd supported after her mother's passing. "Dad, are you there?" "I'm here." Her voice cooled. "You did what fathers do. Eric went above and beyond." She hung up, leaving me in stunned silence. I stared at the lottery ticket on my nightstand, the $2 joke bought with my stolen money. Irony burned as I crumpled it and tossed it into the kitchen trash. The house felt oppressive. I needed air. Grabbing my jacket, I stepped into the crisp morning, walking familiar streets. Mrs. Patterson waved from her garden. "Beautiful morning, Stephen." "Yes, it is," I lied. Past the Hendersons, where Tom taught his grandson baseball, their laughter a stark contrast to my turmoil. Memories flooded, teaching Kara to throw, her joyful face. When had it all soured? My phone buzzed, a text from Kara. "Dad, talk to Eric. He thinks you're overreacting. It's not like you needed the money. We'll pay back when we can, maybe Christmas. K." The dismissal ignited fury. I deleted it without reply. My sister Margaret called moments later. "Stephen, Kara said you're upset about money. She stole $13,000 for Eric's cruise." Shock, then sympathy. "I'm so sorry. She's become cruel." We talked, but nothing could fix this. I returned home, the house feeling shabbier through her judgmental lens. The trash-held ticket mocked me. The next morning, clarity came with sleepless resolve. I called the bank. I need to revoke authorized access. Rebecca guided me professionally. In 15 minutes, it was done. Security bolstered. I felt empowered. My gaze fell on the trash. Digging out the ticket, I smoothed it. 07 14 23 35 42 Powerball 18. Memorized in anger, I tossed it back. Another walk cleared my head. Mrs. Patterson's wisdom, neighborhood sites reinforcing honest living. A repeat text from Kara, same dismissal, deleted. Peace settled in. 3 days later, my phone shattered the calm. "Dad, what the hell? My card was declined at Nordstrom. Embarrassing. I revoked access after your theft. That was family money. I looked like some common person." The disdain stung. "Kara, I raised you with hard work. Eric showed us better. You're a miser." Threats followed. "You'll regret this. I have influential friends." She hung up. That evening, social media revealed her post, a tearful photo claiming I'd cut off family money out of selfishness. Comments piled on, sympathizing with her. Likes and shares spread like wildfire. Eric posted too, decrying reverse elder abuse. My reputation crumbled. Neighbors avoided me, whispers followed. The lottery drawing that night was a distraction. Numbers announced: 07 14 23 35 42 Powerball 18. My heart stopped. Digging through the trash, I found the stained ticket. Perfect match. $120 million. Verification confirmed. Disbelief turned to reality. At the lottery office, Janet verified. "It's authentic. 48 hours for processing." The drive blurred. Kara burst in soon after. "We're millionaires. Half is mine. Witnesses heard." "It was a gift, bought with stolen money. I'll sue." She stormed out. Social media escalated. Her posts accused theft. Viral drama ensued. Comments condemned me. Isolation deepened. Printed posts littered my table when William Johnson, Eric's father, called. We met at Murphy's Diner. I witnessed everything. No agreement. It was a gift. He posted publicly, his credibility shifting opinion. Integrity matters. Hope flickered. 2 weeks later, the ceremony. Media, giant check, applause. Kara interrupted. "That's my ticket." Security intervened. I stated facts calmly. Plans? Help others. Start business.
Next morning, Kara arrived defeated, begging. "We're losing everything. $400,000 debt. $2 million would save us." Tears, pleas, then threats. No grandkids, loneliness. "No, Kara. Solve your own problems." She left furious. "Money made you cruel. It made me free." 3 months on, I blocked her, moved to Dayton, bought the restoration shop, founded a charity. The ticket framed as reminder. Peace found in purpose. But let's expand this further, delving deeper into the psychological layers, the building tension, and the emotional roller coaster that made this revenge so satisfying. Rewind to the beginning, and let's flesh out the backstory that led to this explosive Father's Day. I was Stephen Woods, a 68-year-old widower who'd spent 40 years as a mechanic in a small Ohio town. My hands were calloused from years of turning wrenches, my back ached from lifting engines, but my heart was full from the life I'd built. My wife, Ellen, had passed 8 years earlier from cancer, leaving me to navigate the world alone. Kara was our only child, the light of our lives. I'd poured everything into her, sacrificing vacations, new cars, even my own comfort to give her opportunities we never had. She'd gone to college on scholarships I helped secure, met her husband there, and married into Eric's family. Eric was a successful investor, his father William a business mogul. Over the years, I watched Kara change. Visits grew infrequent, calls shorter. She started mimicking their lifestyle, looking down on my simple home, my used truck, my outdated ways. But I told myself it was just growing up. Father's Day was supposed to be a reset, a family reunion to bridge the gap. How wrong I was. As the gifts were exchanged, the contrast hit like a gut punch. The cruise tickets for Eric were presented with fanfare, details lavished, ports in Italy, Greece, Spain, spa treatments, fine dining. My ticket? A throwaway. The joke about half the winnings felt like salt in the wound. That night, alone, I replayed every moment, questioning where I'd gone wrong as a father. The bank discovery the next day shattered any illusions. $13,000 gone, like I was an ATM, not a person. Her justification on the phone, it twisted the knife deeper. Family money. As if my savings, earned through sweat and sacrifice, were communal property for her whims. The walk that followed was a catharsis. Each step pounded out my anger. Memories assaulted me. Kara, at 5, giggling as I pushed her on the swing. At 12, sobbing over her first heartbreak as I consoled her. At 18, beaming at graduation, hugging me tight. Now, she saw me as a relic, unworthy of respect. Margaret's call grounded me, her outrage validating my pain. But the loneliness that night was profound. I mourned not just the money, but the daughter I'd lost. Revoking access felt like reclaiming my life. The bank's efficiency was a balm. Smoothing the ticket again, I felt a spark of defiance. Another walk reinforced my resolve. Honest folks like Mr. Chen at the market, building lives on integrity, not entitlement. Kara's text solidified my decision. No more enabling. Her rage call days later exposed her true colors. Common person, as if poverty was a sin. Her threats echoed long after. Social media became her weapon. Posts painting me as paranoid, cruel. Comments from strangers stung. Ungrateful old man. Eric's professional spin added legitimacy. I felt besieged, my quiet life invaded by digital judgment. The lottery drawing was serendipity. Those numbers, seared into my mind, matched. Digging through trash, hands in filth, symbolized rock bottom. But holding the winning ticket? Euphoria mixed with irony. Verification at the office was surreal. Papers, scans, congratulations. $120 million. The world tilted. Kara's arrival was frantic. We're rich. Her claim to half was audacious. Witnesses. But it was my gift, bought with my money. Her lawsuit threat revealed desperation. Social media exploded. Videos, accusations of theft. Viral hate isolated me further. Neighbors gawked. Reporters called. Loneliness peaked. William's call was unexpected salvation. At the diner, his suit clashed with the humble setting, but his words aligned with truth. No agreement. His post, backed with reputation, turned the tide. Comments shifted. William's word is gold. Relief washed over me. The ceremony was triumphant chaos. Flashes, applause, giant check. Kara's outburst, screaming claims played out for cameras.
my calm response, invoking William, diffused it. Plans shared, charity, business. Watching her argue with Eric in the lot, poetic justice. Her begging visit was manipulative theater. Tears, debt tales, $2 million ask, threats of isolation cut deep. But I stood firm. No more. Her exit marked the end. Blocking her, moving, buying the shop. Rebirth. Restoring cars healed me. The foundation helped others. The framed ticket? A talisman of transformation. Revenge wasn't destruction. It was freedom. Now, let's dive even deeper into the emotional undercurrents. The betrayal wasn't just financial. It was a rejection of my entire life. Every overtime hour, every sacrifice, dismissed for Eric's flash. Psychologically, it shattered my self-worth. But the win? It rebuilt it, brick by brick. Kara's greed exposed her. My restraint defined me.
Each walk was a meditation. First, anger-fueled. Second, resolute. Post-win, reflective. Neighborhood vignettes, Mrs. Patterson's garden wisdom, Tom's family joy contrasted Kara's superficiality. They reminded me value lies in character. Social media war, her posts weaponized vulnerability, fake tears, selective facts, comments like daggers, greedy father. Eric's posts added corporate gloss. But William's intervention, a masterstroke. His disappointment in Eric palpable. Forgotten integrity. Public opinion flipped overnight. Ceremony details, nerves before, suit from Ellen's funeral evoking loss, announcement thrill, questions navigated gracefully. Kara's disruption, desperate and unhinged, highlighted her downfall. My words, integrity makes one worthy. Parking lot argument, their greed fracturing them. Begging scene, her wrinkled clothes, puffy eyes, calculated. Debt story rehearsed. $2 million, nothing to me. Entitlement peak. Threats hit paternal fears, but clarity held. Free. Move to Dayton, new home, shop purchase, excitement of purpose. Hiring mechanics, first restoration, joy in creation. Foundation grants, helping single parents, honoring my struggles. Evenings peaceful, diner chats, neighbor cookies, unknown calls ignored. Thursday Camaro finish, satisfaction pure. Stars overhead, reflection, Kara's consequences her own. My life, meaningful. Ticket framed, gifts in disguise, lessons in pain. The story's depth lies in psychological engagement. Betrayals boil, initial shock, anger build-up, clarity dawn. Revenge subtle, not vindictive, but boundary-setting. Viewers hook on tension. Will he share? Social media drama builds suspense. Emotional investment. Root for the underdog father against entitled daughter. Flesh out backstory more. Early years, Ellen and I in a tiny apartment, Kara born. Nights rocking her, promising better. Garage work, grease, exhaustion, but pride in providing. Ellen's illness, hospital bills, my vigil. Kara's teen rebellion, softened by grief. College, my sacrifices, her gratitude then. Marriage, shift to Eric's world, my fading role. Father's Day build-up, grocery shopping, excitement. Arrival, SUV versus my truck. Dinner chatter, surface, avoiding depth. Gift moment, cruise details expanded. Excursions, luxury. My ticket, dismissive toss, laugh. Internal monologue, heart boiling, but smile masked. Post-dinner solitude, photos stared back, memories taunt. Bank discovery, numbers blur, realization punch. Call, her laugh dismissive, defense cutting. Real success, invalidating my life. Crumpling ticket, symbolic discard of relationship. First walk, steps heavy, memories tainted. Patterson wave, forced normalcy. Henderson laughter, envy, reminder. Market, Chen's dignity mirror mine. Text, hope crushed, clarity gained. Margaret call, validation but helplessness. Home, shabby through her eyes, but mine. Bank call, empowerment surge. Ticket, smooth, defiance spark. Second walk, lighter steps, reinforcement. Repeat text, solidified no. Peace, quiet dinner, TV distraction. Rage call, bags rustle, mall hum, accusations fly. Threats, voice drop cold. Post-read, churn stomach. Comments scroll, ache build. TV flip, irrelevant escape. Lottery draw, absurd pause. Numbers familiar, freeze. Trash dig, humiliating, triumphant. Rinse, match, disbelief. Hotline confirm, reality sink. Office visit, glass building, scans, congrats. Drive home, streets foreign. Kara arrive, screech tires, vibrate energy. Claim half, expression hard. Storm out, smoke hang. Media, timestamp posts, video mascara. Comments, Team Kara. Neighbor group, debate heat. William, pattern business. Diner meet, vinyl booth, Dolores pour. Witness detail, gesture recall. Post refine, wait community. Post buzz, shift in real time. Silence, normal life watch. Ceremony prep, suit evoke loss. Buzz, media frenzy. Announcement, echo words. Questions, rapid. Outburst, knife cut. Swivel cameras. Response, William invoke. Plans, business dream hint. Lot, BMW side argument. Gestures animate. Drive away, mirror fade. Smile first. Begging morning, newspaper read, slam door. Knock soft, eyes puffy. Couch perch, twist hands. Tears stream, debt detail. Mortgage, cards, business fail. Ask quick. Performance note, teen technique. Threats accelerate. No visits, alone die. Finality shock. Changed accused. Free reply. Storm out, footsteps echo.
Back childhood poverty motivated me. Ellen and my partnership was like a team against the world. Kara's birth was the peak of joy. Ellen's illness involved helpless watching. Post-death, the house was empty and Kara drifted. Marriage was initial happiness with gradual snobbery. Dinner, details, food tastes, and laughs forced. Post-gift, awkward with silverware clink. Alone, echo, empty. Bank, finger trace transactions, shock, freeze. Call, heartbeat loud. Crumple, thud, satisfy. Walk one, breeze cool, sounds amplify. Text read, stomach drop. Margaret, voice soft. Home return, different feel. Bank morning, coffee cold, hands steady. Revoke, certainty solid. Take it memorize, digits burn. Walk two, air crisp, smiles genuine. Rage call, bags rustle, mall hum. Accusations fly. Threats, voice drop cold. Post read, churn stomach. Comments scroll, ache build. TV flip, irrelevant escape. Draw, voice cheerful contrast. Numbers repeat, race heart. Dig, mess hands. Rents careful. Match, sit hard. Hotline, mechanical confirm. Office, sterile, Janet smile. Papers cascade, head swim. Drive home, world alien. Kara arrive, screech tires.
vibrate energy. Claim half, expression hard. Storm out, smoke hang. Media, timestamp posts, video mascara. Comments, Team Kara. Neighbor group, debate heat. William, pattern business. Diner, vinyl booth, Dolores pour. Witness detail, gesture recall. Post refine, wait community. Post buzz, shift real time. Silence, normal life watch. Ceremony, clouds gray, equipment adjust. Backdrop logo, check oversize. Announce, echo words. Questions rapid. Outburst, knife cut. Swivel cameras. Response, William invoke. Plans, business dream hint. Lot, BMW side argue, gestures animate. Drive away, mirror fade, smile first. Begging morning, newspaper read, slam door. Knock soft, eyes puffy. Couch perch, twist hands. Tears stream, debt detail, mortgage, cards, business fail. Ask quick, performance note, teen technique. Threats accelerate, no visits, alone die. Finality shock, changed accuse, free reply. Storm out, footsteps echo.
From the window, I watched her drive away, her anger visible in the screech of tires. I made myself a cup of tea, my movements calm and purposeful. For the first time, true peace settled over my home. 3 months later, as movers loaded the last boxes into the truck, I scrolled to Kara's contact on my phone and blocked her number. Some bridges, once burned, aren't meant to be rebuilt. The drive to Dayton took 2 hours through rolling hills and open countryside. My new house sat on a quiet street, 3 hours from Columbus, far enough to discourage unexpected visits. Henderson's classic auto restoration shop had been for sale for months. When I walked through, inhaling the familiar scent of motor oil and polish, I knew I'd found my purpose. "You sure you want this much work?" Tom Henderson asked, gesturing at the project cars filling his bays. "Most folks your age are thinking about slowing down." I ran my hand along a 1967 Mustang's fender and grinned. "I'm just getting started." Within a week, Henderson's became Wood's Classic Auto Restoration. I hired 3 local mechanics and established the Supporting Single Fathers Foundation, remembering my own struggles after my wife's death. Evenings in Dayton were peaceful. I could walk without whispered conversations following me. The local diner served coffee without a side of gossip about my personal life. And my neighbor Helen brought homemade cookies one day, asking if I was settling in okay. "The neighborhood's quiet, but we look out for each other," she said. "Quiet is exactly what I hoped for," I told her. The shop became my sanctuary. Working alongside younger mechanics, I rediscovered the satisfaction in solving problems with my hands rather than my checkbook. We restored a 1955 Chevrolet to mint condition, and the owner wept when he saw it. I understood that joy completely. I thought about Kara sometimes, but the pain had dulled. The money hadn't changed me. It revealed what I'd always been underneath years of enabling. My phone rang occasionally with unknown numbers I suspected were hers, but I let them go to voicemail. On a Thursday evening, I locked up the shop after completing a 1969 Camaro restoration. Driving home, I passed the community center where my foundation's plaque read, "Supporting Strong Families Through Tough Times." I parked and looked up at the emerging stars. Somewhere, Kara was living with the consequences of her choices. What I could control was building something meaningful. Every restored car, every foundation grant was a vote for a world where character mattered more than connections. The lottery ticket hung framed in my office now, not as a trophy, but as a reminder that sometimes the most valuable gifts come disguised as garbage, and the most necessary lessons come wrapped in pain.
If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.